Hello and welcome back to StudentBoo.com.
In this lecture, we're going to learn about the conditional execution using case or switch. What are the scenarios to use this case or switch conditional execution then? So case or switch is also one of the conditional execution, just like if and else. But case and switch is very friendly, as well as it has a lot of less code than if and else if conditional execution. So let's look at this scenario here. So I've got this grade here. Right, so just like we did for our using conditional expressions and if and else if. So I've got grade here. So the case one is if your grade is A plus, A or A minus, this means you are a great student. So the case two here is if your grade is B plus, B or B minus, you're a good student. The case three here is C plus, C or C minus, you're a poor student. Or the case here 4 is D plus, D or D minus, it's very poor student, right? Anything less than D, you'll fail the class, right? So think about it, right? In this situation, you gotta write a lot of if and else if and conditional expression, right? Which also is fine. It also worked, but using case or switch, it's a lot simpler. Let's see how we can do that. So look into this example here. So I've got this switch class in here, got this main method again. So here I've got this string variable grade, right? And here instead of creating a double as a grade value, we're going to actually use the numeric grade. So here I've got the string grade variable equal B minus, okay, which I've already declared it. So I've got the switch conditional execution here, and the switch is actually takes the value, right? So the value here is this grade. For instance, if you go home, right, you have on and off switch, right, to turn your lights on, lights off. Right? Just like that, you can have you have a switch in Java. However, you have multiple conditions you could do. So now here, so my input in this switch is grade because I'm using this grade and doing some logic here. So my grade is this grade here. So if I've got this multiple case conditions here. So first one here is case equal A plus. So here A plus says if this grade is A plus, it's going to say system.println great student. If it's A, it also says great student. If it's A minus, also say great student. So as soon as you do that, you have to actually break out of the switch conditional execution. So what you're basically doing is when you do break, you don't have to actually, what it does is it actually does not run this code here. Okay, when you break, you're actually out of the switch. So you have the switch conditional execution. As soon as you break, it does not run any of this code below. Okay, you're actually breaking out of the switch conditional execution. So here, as you can see, I've got A plus, A, and A minus, but it's printing the same statement, great student. You know, it also works, but it's also a lot of line of code, right? So to minimize the code, you can also do like this. So I've done it for B here. So I've got this B plus, right? And I have the semicolon, all right? And I do case here, B again, okay, with space, case B. Same thing here, case B minus. So with this three cases here, right, if your grade is B plus, B or B minus, I want to print good student. Okay? And if that, after this statement, I actually break, it means I exit out of the switch statement. Right? Same thing with C plus and D. Okay? So I got C is poor student and D is very poor student. And if any of this grade does not match of this value, it's going to say failed. Anything below than D minus, that means you failed the class and you actually break out of this loop. So now, if I run this program, it's going to say good student. The reason why that is because it's going to go A plus, A or A minus, and that's not equal to A plus, A minus. It's going to go here, in this case B plus, no, B, no, B minus, yes. And I execute this line of code here, it says good student. And as soon as you do good student, prints it, it breaks out of this switch. So that's what we're going to do in our IntelliJ. So let's go back here to our IntelliJ here and go create a new file. And I'm going to call it switch. Right? And I'm actually going to do public static void main string args. And in here, okay, I'm actually going to minimize this. So here, first I'm actually going to do is string grade equal B minus. Alright, So now, switch. I'm going to use switch instead of if-else with conditional expression. So here, my input here is grade. So I'm actually going to do case A plus. You have to put semicolon, so don't forget that. And I'm going to do system.println grade student. Alright, I'm actually going to save some time and copy that here. Now in here, I'm actually going to do A minus. You can see here it just throws an error. The IntelliJ is smart as it throws an error because it's saying that you have too many cases with the same value. So now I've got B. So in here, I'm actually going to do B. So I'm going to do, oops, case equal B minus. And do this. Alright, so got this B plus B and B minus. It's going to say good student. So same thing like here. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here and paste it there. Alright, so here this is going to be C plus, and here it's going to be C minus. Here it's going to say poor student, D minus. So, and let's say default, let's say system.out.println, let's say you failed the class. Alright, so now here I do not have a break, right? So what happens if I don't put a break here? I'm going to show you here. So I got grade B minus, so let's run this. So the thing, it says good student, poor student, good student, and so on, right? So it's like doing the same thing here. Why does it do that? Oops. Yeah, I'm going to forget to do it here. Very poor student. But what it's doing is actually find this one. It actually printed good student, then it says poor student. It's going to say very poor student, you failed the class, right? So without the break, right, it's not exiting the switch statement. So you have to put a break on every case statement. I'm going to do break here, break, and same thing here. Alright, so now let's run this code. So it should only say good student. So what happened here is I created a string variable grade equal B, and I have declared B minus. So here I've got the switch condition execution. My input here is grade. So my grade I've already declared B minus. So it goes to this situation here, no, no, no. It goes here, B plus, no, B, no, yes. It printed on good student and exit out of this case switch conditional execution, right? It only said good student, and it did not run this code because I'm breaking out of this conditional execution. So now if I do D, just D, it's gonna say very poor student, because when here no, false, 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 true, it executes this line of code, it breaks out of the loop. So now if I just put like F, right, and it's gonna say you failed the class because I did not match this, match this, match this, match this, and this, and this. And default is like any case just doesn't match, you want it to execute some line of code. So here, if I don't put F but put something like G, it's going to say the same thing. So it says you failed the class. Let's do this. I'm actually going to copy this, and here I'm actually going to do F, so there won't be any F plus. So I'm just going to do F, just F, right? So failed student, and here I'm going to say invalid grade. So now what I did here is, so now if I do grade here, I've declared the grade variable g, right? When here, if you have a case f, that means it says, oh, you failed student. But it does not match any of the grade, right? There's no grading system called G. That's why it says invalid grade. So if I put F in here, right, it's going to say invalid, failed student. So that's how you can actually switch conditional execution instead of this AND, as you can see here, and OR, right? It's very cleaner and very less code. Right? So if you write the switch statement, any programmer, right, any other programmer will understand what you're doing actually. Instead of this, they will take some time to try and understand what you're doing. So that is pretty much about this switch conditional execution. So I hope you guys learned about what switch and conditional execution is and how you can actually implement the switch conditional execution in your Java code. Alright, so that's it for this lecture. I will see you guys in our next lecture.